Welcome back, guys, for the first time to me and my boy Ty here reacting to six most scary, well, disturbing, and abandoned buildings encounters caught on camera. Um, we technically got Grace, my buddy's Ty, appearance today because he's normally down in his own state doing his own little country bumpkin kind of thing, but he's up to visit family, so he kind of snuck away for the night. So we decided we'd record some content, and other than that, we're just gonna get right into the mix of everything. Not gonna beat around the bush. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Urbex Hill is one of the most popular urban exploration
Fuck it.
channels on YouTube, featuring raw footage from YouTuber Chris Hill's visits to a lot of the more extreme abandoned buildings in the US. From abandoned mental hospitals to decommissioned military facilities, Chris explores all of it, but specifically places that a lot of even the more extreme explorers wouldn't visit, at least not at night and alone like Chris always does. In January 2023, he
You're kind of
uploaded
ballsy
footage
for
of his
that,
visit to the now abandoned Revere Elementary School in Cleveland.
right?
After
Especially
almost a century of use, the school was permanently closed in
we bringing
2015
some
due
heat
to
with
declining
you.
enrollment numbers. Although there are allegedly plans to turn the abandoned
Is it bad
building
that I
into
want
a
to do
housing
this though?
complex, as
Is it
of
like the white people
2024,
activity version of me?
Revere Elementary is still abandoned and
Yeah, I
in
don't see it.
terrible
One
shape. From the moment
Dude,
Chris walks
I
inside, it's
I
pretty clear that
love
the place
exploring
hasn't been
abandoned
used in
buildings or
years
like
and has been
haunted
severely
buildings.
damaged by the elements,
Guys,
vandals,
we can
and
get
the
like
passage of time.
1,000 likes in this one
The bottom
video. I'll
floors
drag
are
Ty
all
along with me
flooded,
to a
the
haunted
walls are
house.
peeling, the structure doesn't seem too sound, and there's rust, random papers, books, and
You
all
gotta
kinds of
find a way to
debris
drag
lying
your ass out of
everywhere.
your state to go do it.
Throughout the video, you can see messages written in seemingly fresh
Or I'll
chalk
come to
on
your
some of the
place.
whiteboards, confirming that people have been in the building recently. This was actually Chris's second visit to Revere Elementary. When he uploaded footage of his March 2022
Trust me,
visit
I
to
can
the
find
school,
something.
several people in the comments mentioned they had either been students or teachers at the school and talked about how incredibly sad it
Yeah,
was
if
to see
I
their
remember
beloved
correctly, your place
childhood
has a lot.
school ruined by abandonment and lack of maintenance. A little after 10 minutes into the exploration, you can hear some sort of ruffling sound and other strange noises coming from somewhere in the schoolhouse.
What is that? Do you hear that?
Oh, what? You found someone else exploring the same building as you?
As Chris turns a corner in the hallway, another person's flashlight can be seen shining down the hall. It looks to be just one person, who was likely either another urban explorer or a squatter. Still, at 1 a.m. in an abandoned building, it's obviously best to avoid drawing unwanted attention to yourself, especially when you don't know the other person's intentions, which is why Chris ultimately decided to run
Don't
instead
want
of
them to
making
have
his
bad
presence known.
intentions, but at the same time,
Making sure to walk in the other direction to avoid running into anyone, he then heads to the library and explores the rest of the top floors. As he goes into the bathroom on the top floor, he has another encounter.
Somebody's in there.
No shit. I'm not gonna lie, that actually kind of gave me like slight goosebumps. Like I felt that a little bit.
At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human silhouette can be seen standing completely motionless. After the initial shock of the encounter, Chris draws his gun and
That
goes
could have been
back to the front
staged.
man.
Yeah, it looks like
Hello.
if it shows it again, it's gonna be gone now.
either gone or closer. Nope, same spot.
Yeah, it don't even got hands. It looks like it has like someone put a piece of glasses on.
Yeah.
A pair of glasses. I don't know about this one.
Oh, it moved.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
statue.
it's a f***ing toy.
It looked like it moved.
But either way, what the fuck caused it to move?
Oh my god, that's.
See, it looked like it like jumped down like that and picked its arms up a little bit, then it stiffened out and fell over.
As it turns out, the silhouette was actually a scary mannequin that somebody set up, probably to scare away visitors. What's most eerie is that even though we can't know for sure how long the mannequin had been standing there before the footage was shot, for some reason it fell forward just in time for Chris to see it. The most reasonable explanation being
it looks like someone buckled his knee.
off the wall.
Look at his knee
Most people
freaking
would have
buckled.
left as soon as they saw the mannequin, but Chris continued to explore the rest of the school, seemingly unmoved by the
Look, it's a
experience he just
fucking
went through.
right leg was
Not before
buckled.
clearing the entire rest of the bathroom. Sadly, some of the rooms in the school are filled with books, whiteboards, and other perfectly usable materials that could have been donated to another school before the building was abandoned. But nobody seemed to care enough to give them away before the school was abandoned.
I think they
About
just
half
added
an
those
hour
in
into
right
the
before I
visit, Chris
got out of
climbs up to
school.
the roof, which in itself is pretty risky.
You
Even if you
ballsy
don't care
motherfucker.
about getting caught by the cops, there's still a very high risk of the roof caving in, especially considering the state of the building when the footage was shot. Fortunately, he was able to climb down
Oh,
safely.
that's a pretty ass
That's when a
sight,
strange
though.
noise could be heard coming from the other end of one of the hallways.
Safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
What
Ooh,
was that shadow?
that was something moving.
As Chris
There's a
explores one of the
shadow in the-
rooms, a strange
Yeah, I
howl
saw that in
can
the
be heard in
window.
distance, and as he raises his camera, you can clearly see a shadow moving behind the door at the far end of the room.
Yeah.
By this point, it's pretty clear that not only are multiple other people in the building with him, but now he's possibly being stalked. Once again, Chris draws his gun and prepares for an encounter, but he doesn't find anyone in any of the rooms. After this,
I
he
think it might
admits he's
pick
ready to
up
call it a
the
night and decides to
monitor
head
itself.
home, but not before this final encounter.
This place is weird as hell. Oh, here it is. This place is crazy. I remember the last time I explored it. Hello?
Why you know white people?
Hello? What? Okay, I know I heard somebody coming down these stairs. I'm out.
Mine?
As he struggles to find his way out
Like,
of
why'd you go
the
two
sound of
flights?
footsteps
I would've went up the first
can be
one.
heard on the stairway directly
Went to
above
like
Chris's
2
head.
steps, took
But
a
after
peek,
running
and
up
said,
and
"Fuck
calling
that."
out to see if he gets a response,
What do you,
I'd
what do
be
you
like-
expect to happen if you go up the stairs and
Luckily,
you
he
hear
was able to
something
walk
up the
away on
stairs?
I wouldn't even said hello. I'd have heard footsteps. I'd have waited like, alright, don't move. I'm hearing more, and they sound like going fast coming down this way. We're leaving. Bye.
Oh yeah, no worry.
and has continued to upload videos of his visits.
I'll
to
get outside of the building,
places
then I'll
pretty
turn around, and
frequently.
it's standing out that door. Huh. I'm leaving.
The Proper People is an urban exploration channel owned by Brian and Michael, two friends who travel the world in search of.
And if I remember, guys, I will try to link all
For the
these
past 10
channels
years
in the
that channel has
description.
been active, Brian
So
and
if you guys want to
Michael
go
have built up a
check out their
reputation
actual
for being a
channels,
trustworthy
it'll be in the
channel that
description
only
for you
uploads
guys if I remember
genuine
to do
footage
so.
of their explorations. In a niche of YouTube that's often plagued by cheap, fake footage from people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, The Proper People has endured as one of the
Why are you
most
sitting
reliable
like
channels
that?
in the urbex space. They gained their fame from explorations of genuinely cool places instead of faking creepy encounters or anything
No.
of the such. In
That's not fair. I hate
2016,
heights.
they
Fuck that.
uploaded a video of their nighttime visit to the
Yeah,
Jemison
also
Center
don't
in
fuck with-
Northport, Alabama, often referred to as Old Bryce Hospital. From 1939
They
to
go to a hospital?
1977, the Jemison Center
That's
housed
a no.
hundreds of psychiatric patients.
That shit
and
looked
acquired
like- oh,
reputation
a
for
psych
treating
ward
them pretty
got it.
harshly. Often
In a way, it
referred
makes
to as the
more
creepiest
sense,
building in
like,
Alabama,
no.
Old Bryce was closed in the
Yeah,
late
no, I'm good.
70s and is
I go during the
said to be
day.
by nature and become a hotspot for urban explorers from
Yeah,
all
I'll
over
go
the
in. I'll
world.
go in the sunshine.
As
Then
Michael
I'm not
and
gonna
Brian
explore
approach the
anything
location
dark,
in their
but I'll
car, there
go
doesn't
there
seem to
when
be
it's
anyone around. And after
like
driving around the
midday
grounds
type
for a
shit.
while, the two YouTubers
Oh,
get out
we
of
got
the
a haunted
vehicle
jail
to begin
actually
exploring,
near
settling
here,
on the
like
basement
10
as
minutes
the
up the
first area
road.
to explore.
We will have
After
to go
more
at some
than
point.
4 decades of abandonment, the entire complex is almost completely
We get like
destroyed,
they give
and
like a
some of the
tour and
walls
all
are
that.
completely covered in all kinds of graffiti. Some of them aren't even there anymore.
Yo, what did they do to
In
the
state of
chair?
disrepair of the Jemison Center,
In the
there's almost
toilet?
a chance that the structure could collapse on itself and trap
I
Brian
think
and
I
Michael
wanna know.
inside. But as they go up the
Maybe don't.
stairs to explore the top floor, it becomes clear that an unsound structure is the least of their worries.
Whoa, look at this. Look at this staircase out here. Oh. There's somebody there.
No way.
Yes, see their light. They're out there. I swear on my life. Right there. I hear 'em. Should I say hello? Yeah. There's somebody out there.
Where?
Let's go back to the car. This way. If it's somebody wanting to talk to us.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even see the
As the
lights
camera
back there.
pans to the window, the outline of a person holding up a light can be seen on the staircase.
Ooh, right there.
Cuts off and then they cut theirs
Disturbingly,
off.
as soon as the uploaders turn off their light, the other person does the exact same thing, indicating they were watching and didn't want to be spotted. Chillingly, if you rewind the footage to when the YouTubers arrived at the top floor, you can clearly see a light outside the window frame, but it's unclear if the light was coming from the same person who was watching them. After calling out and receiving no response, Brian and Michael decide to go back to their car to avoid getting jumped or worse.
I don't blame.
It's hard to know what exactly the intentions of the other person were, but what's
Like, I was really hoping these
disturbing
would
is
be
the
like
fact
more
that there were
scarier
other
encounters,
cars
yeah.
when they arrived and when they left.
Yeah, most of
which
it's
means that
just
whoever
stuff
was
that
there
could
had
have
arrived on
easily
foot
been
and probably been there
set
for a
up.
while.
You'd be staged.
Ridgley
That's getting a better
Hospital
one.
was a women's psychiatric hospital in Lancaster, UK that operated for almost 100 years from 1916 to 2013. Famous for being one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the UK that fought for the humane treatment of mentally ill patients, Ridgley Hospital housed thousands of patients and used modern treatment methods such as electroconvulsion therapy to help patients with a range of disorders, from severe depression to obsession to mania. In April 2022, YouTuber Exploring with Tom visited the site with 3 of his friends in the middle of the night. Throughout their visit, they were extremely loud and not aware of their surroundings, which is obviously not the best idea when exploring an abandoned building. Keep in mind that most of these abandoned buildings are still considered government property, which makes it illegal to trespass and explore the grounds. Still, if you disturb a hostile squatter's home by being obnoxiously loud, getting arrested would probably be the least of your worries.
I'm not scared of you.
Oh yeah, well I am scared of you.
I think someone is here now, to be honest with you.
After hearing some strange noises coming from one of the rooms, the 4
It's hard
explorers...
to
If we
believe
don't
it's
see
okay.
anything,
This
if we don't get to
is
see
getting
this
disturbing.
thing, it's chalk.
He might need help.
Hello? Hello? What? Go! 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 Yo! Come! Yo! Everyone okay? Everyone okay? Keep calm. Keep calm. Keep Man! What the Don't hurry up! Get out! Get out! Get out! What do you want? He's right there! He's right there! Yo!
I mean, that could have
As
just been
soon
a
as one of
fifth
the
friend that
teenagers
they
calls
didn't
out, a
say
man can be
anything
heard
about.
screaming from inside the room.
Mm.
Without thinking twice, Tom and his friends...
Yeah, but
make
that means they
their
have
way
to
back
keep
the
them
room.
off of
But
frame the
disturbingly,
whole time
man
and
isn't satisfied
quiet.
with just scaring them out of the building and ends up chasing
Either
them
that
all
or
the way to their
unknown friend
car.
that hasn't been on camera.
It's unknown who the
Like
man
a new
was
friend or
or
something
what
like
he wanted
that.
from them. But one of the theories that's been echoing in the comments is that he was probably a homeless person who got upset at the amount of noise
I
Tom
mean,
and his friends
yeah,
were making.
homeless or squatter.
Like, I could believe it being a
I could believe it
squatter.
being that, but
Teenagers burst into the
an
abandoned
unknown
building
friend, I
you call
mean...
your home
Like, there's
and
4
start
of you
yelling
and 1 of
laughing, and
him.
screaming.
Like, I gotta give him 4 of
But
you.
still, it's good they were able to get away unharmed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 4 of you boys could fuck
In
this shit up.
2006, a 36-year-old man named Vincent Filya was living in the woods as a fugitive near Lugoff, South Carolina, after being accused of abusing his stepdaughter. In September of that same year, he saw a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Schoaf getting off the school bus and decided to abduct her. Posing as a
Disrespect.
police officer, Filya arrested Schoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods. For 10 days, Elizabeth was
you can't
chained
do
up
that.
and abused by Filya in the underground.
sorry.
building
Just
of his
can't.
hideout
I'm sorry,
in what
I'm
can only be
sorry.
described as a
I
nightmare.
don't mean it. I just know that's how the memes go right now. I'm sorry.
And came up with a plan to escape.
I don't mean anything by it. I don't mean it like, I don't mean it by
She
that.
wanted to
I'm pulling the
escape.
fuck.
Elizabeth
I'm
knew that she
trying.
had
I'm
to get
sorry.
Vincent to like her. For several days, she pretended to be in love with Filia, and eventually the kidnapper lowered his guard, even unchaining her and allowing her to play games on his phone. One night, while Vincent was sleeping, the teenager got a hold of his phone and sent a text to her mom saying she was in a hole across the Charm Hill, that there was a bomb, and to call the police. As it was later revealed, Filia had planned to draw in as many people as possible to the bunker to detonate a bomb and take the lives of the responding officers. However, he never managed to carry out his plan, for just a few minutes later the area was surrounded by helicopters and he was forced to surrender. To make a long story short, Elizabeth was able to move on with her life, and the monster named Vincent Filia spent the rest of his life in prison, where he died in 2021 in his cell. In December 2023, a YouTuber named Big Banks visited the abandoned hideout where the terrifying crime took place. Immediately upon entering the house, the uploader finds something extremely disturbing.
I think this was the little girl's backpack
No shit.
that was left here.
I would
Sad
hope that's
sight
the
to see.
backpack.
Knowing that happened.
You never
A
know,
little
though.
girl's backpack can be seen on the floor outside the kitchen. Although it's impossible to confirm if it belonged to Elizabeth Shove, it is possible that it was planted there after the crime by somebody else. As he explores the living room, the uploader finds more creepy stuff, including a DVD of the horror movie The Strangers, a Halloween decoration next to one of the couches, a shank, a broken baseball bat, and a ripstick. Obviously, the fact that these items were left behind is much more disturbing.
We're not gonna talk about the phone that was on the couch.
It's heartbreaking to imagine that some of the toys lying around the
That's a
floor
big-ass TV
possibly
remote,
belonged
then.
to the girl that Vincent
Seems a big
Filia had
ass TV remote.
stolen. Throughout the rest of the house, several objects and pieces of furniture, including the bed in the main room, look like they were placed there much later than 2006. It's possible that the house was occupied by squatters, but because it was empty at the time the footage was shot, it's impossible to know what belonged to Filia, his common-law family, his victim, and the squatters. Thankfully, after being reunited with her family in 2006, Elizabeth went on to live a fruitful life, and the man who committed the heinous crime against her paid the price for it. Holton Avenue is a notoriously creepy abandoned street in Cleveland, Ohio. In 1913, the first Hungarian Baptist church was built on that street, eventually falling into disuse and being left abandoned like the rest
Yeah,
of
I've
the
been in
buildings
that
on
church before.
street. In April 2016, the body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing, but unfortunately her attacker was never found. In July 2023, Chris Hill went to the location to record footage of the abandoned church, as well as the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. From disturbing graffiti to broken glass and peeling walls, the church checks every box you would expect from a creepy, abandoned building. As he ventures into the basement, Chris finds signs that someone else had been inside the church, including an action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar that he mentions he doesn't remember
You
seeing
will
last
Melvin
time he
doing.
visited the location. Knowing that he's often not alone during his explorations, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and about 10 minutes into the exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor captures something pretty creepy.
That's weird. What's upstairs?
That was a door.
Obviously, doors don't just randomly shut themselves, and as it wasn't particularly windy that night, it's clear that someone was in the church with Chris. But after looking around for a bit, he can't find anyone in the church and decides to head back outside to explore the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. If the church was in a messed up state, some of the houses are even worse, with most of them looking like they could collapse at any second.
I forget where it is, but it's somewhere near here where I live. Not in Cleveland. But there's like a whole fucking town that is just abandoned. Like you can go there and it's like peak condition housings. And like you go inside, it looks like just a normal house family was just living there last night. And yeah, it's just gone. No one. I don't remember what it's called, what the name of it is, but I know it's somewhere in fucking Ohio. I think it's like an hour away from where we're at right now.
Around half an hour into the visit, he decides to explore one of the most dilapidated houses on the block, and as he's in the basement, the exploration takes a scary turn.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy.
Close
Sorry.
enough.
I didn't know nobody lived there.
Okay, so is this a
I'm just saying,
squatter?
squatter or not, my heart would have came out of my chest.
Oh no, fight or flight would have kicked in. I
As
would
he's
have
exploring the
tried to fight
basement,
him.
a sound can be heard coming from the ground floor, and when he goes back up to find out what it is, a person pulls back the curtain. Immediately apologizing, Chris runs back out to the street, and that's when he realizes that despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, there was actually someone living in there with electricity. Clearly most, if not all of the abandoned buildings on the block were housing people now who didn't want him there, something he never encountered on his first visit. And with this newfound discovery, Chris called it a night.
I would have
That
too.
probably would have too, yeah.
In February 2020, urban explorer Riddim Ryder explored an abandoned house at an undisclosed location with his exploration partner Zay Clark.
Bro, why is he
According to
dressed for
Riddim,
like the
house
Winter
used to be
Glades,
haunted
and yet
by
he's in a
woman who had
fucking
passed
house?
away. In complete contrast to most abandoned houses, most of the woman's possessions had been left untouched, indicating that the house had not yet fallen prey to looters and squatters who often take things that aren't theirs. All throughout the house, the two explorers find everything from beautiful tableware and silverware to ornately woven tapestries and a fully equipped bar. Based on the calendars they found in the house, the property
Was a
had been
fully
occupied
equipped bar.
since August 2018. Just a few minutes into the visit, Riddim and Zay find something incredibly sad and disturbing.
Always been worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground.
Ooh.
Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed
Yeah,
on
looks
the
like she
floor,
fell forward probably.
and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20
No,
minutes
she
to,
fell on her back.
decide what
Yeah,
we
that'd
would
be her
do
back.
here, and despite
Because I'm looking where like her
this
calves
feeling
would
weird,
be.
we figured we still need
And
to
just
talk
going from
to
like
her.
military
This is a
knowledge
good
wise, like
reminder to everybody
where the gap is at and
that you need to check
whatnot.
on your loved
I
ones.
could see,
This
you know.
woman had passed and was laying here for God knows how long before she was found. So check in on your loved ones, guys.
Right in the middle of the hallway, a human body stain can be seen on the floor next to a walker, indicating that the old woman probably had a bad fall and couldn't get up. Sadly, she passed away and her body decomposed before anyone could save her.
That
which
is
a terrifying
definitely-
way to die. There appear to be signs that the woman's family members tried to sort through her things after she passed away, but overall, her various belongings are in perfectly
Wait.
good shape, including...
Hold up. Did you just say that their family tried to sort through some of her belongings after she passed away?
Yeah, and then they just stopped.
So
And
that
left it.
means the family, when they walked in the house, saw the body stain.
Every time they walked in there.
Yes. Bro, you know how traumatic that could be to somebody?
That could really mess
Like,
somebody
imagine
up.
that was your mom.
Right.
And you're going into the house again, and you're just seeing a body stain where your mom was decaying at. Bro, I couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
I would see that, I'd be like, yep, no, I don't even give a fuck for anything that's in here. I can stay. I'm out.
including her bathroom supplies, which were still there at the time of the recording. It's
Why
hard
the
to
mop
watch
in
the
the sink?
footage without having conflicting
Washing
feelings.
it out, bro.
Even though the house is
I don't wanna
beautiful and you
enjoy
can
it.
easily tell that the woman who lived there with her husband was a talented, outgoing person, it's incredibly sad to see how she met her end. Overall, the footage should serve as a reminder.
Look how her head is set up. She hit her head off the wall.
Mm.
Her head's like slanted.
Yeah.
It's not parallel to her back. So I mean, she either hit her head and then hit like her shoulder blade. And depending on how old she is, like, dude, she could be like 99. That kind of hit and fall, she's done. Oh, I just hope it was quick for her.
Yeah.
Check in on your loved ones every time you get the chance, because nobody
That
deserves
is
to pass
sad.
away like that. Since 2020, Riddim with Ryder hasn't gone back to that location.
No shit.
I would honestly hope
I
not.
wouldn't. Like, bro. Alright, but guys, that was me and Ty.
The video was odd.
It was slightly disturbing, but
And some of it's just I'm not dealing with this type stuff.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I was more hoping it was gonna be like more like scary wise, because like that's kind of what I was wanting. But
But you
yeah,
know, it is what it is.
but yeah, guys, that was us reacting to 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters. Um, it wasn't too bad. A little odd here and there. I was more like wanting more of like a scare, like ghost encounter kind of thing. I think it would have been a lot cooler. But yeah. Alright. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.